Hey guys, it's been a while since I've posted anything on this channel, but I am back. Today I am focusing on cleaning my kitchen and I need to make some Coquito orders. So thank you for being here with me. So I'm just tackling these dishes. If you are anything like our family, we are a family of 6. We have a baby, 2 school-aged children and a teenager, and then my husband and I. So it can get a little crazy. And although we do try to load our dishwasher at night and run it so it's all clean in the morning, sometimes that just doesn't happen. So I'm trying to multitask. So I do have our robot vacuum going around, and you'll see it coming in and out here, just going around me. And this is a lifesaver, I have to say, especially for me with neurodiversity. It does the smallest task does become huge in our mind. So just having the advantage of this vacuum, and it just really, it goes on its own. I don't really have to manage it at all. So continuing my dishes here. Is it me, or does it always feel like the dishes are just never ending, right? I am really thankful that with our older children, we have been able to delegate some chores and tasks. But this particular day, no one is assigned to dishes, so it's between my husband and I to kind of tackle them. One huge thing that has been really helpful for me is just to take the utensil basket from the dishwasher and put it on the counter. I'm not sure if you can see it here. I have both of them placed there, so I can just wash the forks and the spoons, the knives and all of that, and just put them directly in there instead of continuing to bend down. It does affect my back the more that I bend, because I do have back issues. So I avoid to bend down as much as possible. So that's really helpful for me. I am just finishing up. I have this last pan, and I'm using this little brush with bristles, and it's really helpful actually. My son was the one that started using the brush because we have a lot of difficulties with sensory. So for him, he either needs gloves or he needs the brush. Getting his hands wet and things is just kind of not comfortable for him, and I do understand. I do struggle sometimes with the sensory of it, but that was the first time that I used the brush, and it actually worked out fairly well. Just wiping down the counters, making sure I get all those little crumbs behind the baskets and such, wiping down the air fryer. Yep, that's my little man. He has lots to say too. So you just making sure that I am wiping down everything. This is a honey and garlic. It's a fermented garlic, essentially with raw honey, and it's made to boost your immune system, and it's been really helpful. So that kind of gets sticky back there. So I was wiping that down, making sure again that I get all the surfaces right, because I'm going to be making the Coquito, and I have to have my kitchen clean. I don't like any debris or anything to be flying around, so I'm just making sure that everything is wiped down before I get started with that. Yes, that includes the microwave, the door to the stove, the oven, I should say. And again, just making sure that everything is put away and trying to contain everything before I actually kind of tear up the kitchen again, because I'm making Coquito, and that can get a little messy sometimes. So, this is a great drink for the holiday. If you haven't tried it, I definitely do recommend it. So here I'm just making sure my blender is clean. I know it was clean, but I just put some dish soap water and I blended that to kind of go through the whole blender, and then I rinsed it out. And I feel like I blended it again. I couldn't tell. Obviously, this is not real time motion, and it's going a little bit faster than what I was actually moving in real life. So again, just making sure that blender is nice and clean. I have a thing for just cleanliness, and I just need to make sure everything is just clean. I sprayed down my sink here with some multi-surface cleaner, and I'm using the brush to just kind of scrub my sink. I feel like not everybody takes the time to do this sometimes, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't do it myself often, as often as I should actually. But again, I have to make sure my kitchen is clean before I start making this. And I put orders together about, I want to say during the holiday season, it's about once a week. Again, it's a holiday drink, so I don't make this all year round. It is a coconut-based eggnog, if you will. It is from Puerto Rico. It's very special, and it is just so delicious, and I make different varieties of it. And I needed to put together these orders for my customers, so I just lit a candle because it just really enhances my personal experience of just getting in the season, getting the Christmas season. And you see me pull out a toaster because I just remembered I didn't have breakfast yet. I can't tell what the time says on the clock, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around like 10-ish probably. So the pot, I am simmering a tea for my coquito. So this is something that I love to add to my coquito. It's not something that everybody does, but I just like to enhance the flavors. And it just for me, it just kind of builds up the flavor. So I'm putting all the spices together in this pot so it can start simmering, and it can take its time to kind of simmer and get all those flavors going before I start having my breakfast, because I did put my bagel. It's just a bagel. It's nothing fancy. I'm a grab and go type of girl. So that's what breakfast was. So this is a picture of the tea so that you have an idea of what it would look like. And I just have it simmering. Trying to clean up. Of course, I can't have all these things going around, and I'm just gathering all my ingredients for the coquito. There comes the vacuum again. Like I said, it goes around my house without me having to pay attention to it. So this definitely was an investment, and it is the best thing. Honestly, it is a couple of years old, and we'll be ready for a new one hopefully soon. But it works really well. We have a dog that does shed, and we have children, and I need to have my floors clean. So this just really helps with the daily, with the daily routine, and just it helps maintain our home and our floors clean. So I'm preparing this bagel. I just use cream cheese, and then I'm loving strawberry jam on top of the cream cheese in my bagel. I used to think it was kind of nasty, but then I tried it, and I won't eat it any other way. So had to grab a towel. I always need a clean towel, and there I had to leave because my baby was crying. So I am just making sure everything is just kind of simmering. Nothing is going to be burning. I am making sure everything is put away. And here is the baby. I had to go and grab him because he was crying, and it was time for his, I believe it was lunchtime at this point actually. So I had to go get him. He woke up from his nap, and I am eating on one hand and carrying him on the other, and we had to take a break for him to eat. So vacuum is still going. As you can see, it goes around all of the corners. And the baby was done eating, so this is me just cleaning up his tray, cleaning up his bowls. I just cleaned the sink, as you remember, so I need to make sure that I keep up with the cleanliness and just make sure everything is put away. That bib needs to hang to dry. I love those bibs, and now I'm just making sure his tray is all wiped down and clean so that can dry, and I can get that out of the sink, and I can get that off the counters so I can have all use of my counters. Okay, And I need to put this away now. I need to put the toaster away. I did have my bagel. It has become like my morning staple breakfast. What kind of breakfast do you guys find that you gravitate to when you're just trying to rush? Are you the type that just prepares breakfast in advance, so like it's a grab and go, or are you like a bagel type of person? Are you a fruit type of, like, what is it? What is your go-to breakfast meal? I'm curious because I really do need to change it up, but I also don't have a lot of time. So you can see the tea is done. You see it's a little nice, what would you call it, like orangey brownish color. So now I have to let it cool off because I cannot add it while it's hot. It will just completely mess up everything. The Coquito is a coconut milk base, so the tea being hot would not really be good. So I am just setting up, getting everything I need, making sure my ingredients are out, they're aligned, they're in order. I don't like to be like moving back and forth to get things, so I'm getting my utensils that I need. I am setting up the blender in its place, making sure I have like napkins and my towel and everything I absolutely need. And here I go. I am starting my process. I am starting to make the Coquito. I am opening up cans. I use a spoon. This is the cream of coconut. The cream of coconut is very thick up top, and yes, I was recording the cream of coconut for a different video. A lot of people ask me some questions about the Coquito, and I also like to I have to record in the process so that I can answer some questions. So here I go. I am starting with the thicker ingredients. So I am dumping that cream of coconut here. As you can see, gotta pop all those lids. And I need my trash barrel because, again, I don't want to clutter up my space on the counter. So it's easier for me to open a can, dump the contents in the blender, and then just dump the can out in the trash. So I love watching this vacuum. My baby really gets entertained by it. It has become like a little toy. I'm pretty sure when he starts crawling, he'll be chasing it all over the house. The dog also watches it as it goes around and around. I think it is hysterical, and it's actually, it's just fun to watch, but it's really more just essential. It's awesome. I'm so glad that we got it, and again, it is very important in our home. It definitely takes a lot of work out of my hands. So I am working through the ingredients. Have you guys ever had Coquito? I know this video will be seen by a lot of different people. So if you have not tasted Coquito, I would love to know. And if you have, I would love to know what flavor or flavors you have tried and what your thought of it is. What do you think about the Coquito? It just reminds me of back home, Puerto Rico. I mean, I haven't been back to the island in years, but it's something that in my family and a lot of families from our culture, they drink this every single year. And it can be made differently. Obviously, different people are making it, but it's just the best. One of the things, you know, that you will always, one of the things that will carry memories throughout the year. So my kids love it. I do make it in a virgin version for them, obviously. The Coquito is traditionally made with rum, with white rum. And the brand of Coquito that people use, that can vary nowadays. A lot of people will make it with different rums. Again, every family has their own recipe. Some will make it with a spiced rum. You know, they get they get fancy and they use different alcohol. I try to just stick to Bacardi. just because that's what I kind of grew up on, and I saw being made with Bacardi. But again, everyone makes it differently, so and that's what my customers like, so I just kind of stick to the same. I don't like changing things. You saw I pulled out the rum bottles. They're sitting on the counter. The rum that I used for this is the white Bacardi Superior rum, and I measure out things. The only thing I don't really measure out is the vanilla extract and the cinnamon that gets dumped in. I make it with love every single batch. So like they say, I just pour until my ancestors tell me to stop, right? A lot of my ancestors would be making this, except back then you would literally have a coconut that you would have to crack open, and you would have to make the coconut milk and all of that from scratch. So we are very lucky that we can just go to the store and get the cans. And you know, a lot of people will say, oh, it's not the same, or it's not homemade, or you know, that's not what Coquito is, and I respect your opinion. But this is just how I make it. A lot of people make it this way. It is easy. It still tastes delicious. It has been a long time since I've tasted Coquito made from an actual coconut. My grandmother did used to make it that way. Unfortunately, she has passed, so I can't get that knowledge from her of how she would make her Coquito. But this is how I make it. I make it with the cans, and you know, I've already made the big batch of Coquito, and I'm just pouring them in the individual bottles. So I order my bottles online. The best way to store Coquito is in a glass bottle. That first bottle that I put aside, it is the virgin Coquito, and that one is for my kids. I've been making Coquito, and they keep asking me, oh, do these all have alcohol? And unfortunately, they haven't been able to have any in the last couple of weeks. So I made this batch just for I made that bottle just for them so that they could have some Coquito. And then I added the coconut rum, which I just did that a couple of seconds ago. And now I am just making sure I taste it. You know, I got to do a test to make sure the flavors are there, that the rum, that you can taste the rum, you know, through the flavors, and it just has like that smooth consistency, and you can just, that it's all basically working together. And I can adjust as needed before I start pouring into the bottles. So it definitely is made with love. You know, for me, I need to do it while it's all like nice and quiet and my older kids are not home. So I needed, as you saw that there, that needed a little more rum, and I just blindly just poured in there. And my husband did comment after he tasted some of it that it was a little strong, but my customers do like it a bit strong. Not all. However, that's why I need to measure, because sometimes I can just get out of hand. But this batch I did measure, but I didn't taste the same to me, which is why I added more. So I definitely did get it to a consistency that I liked, and I am just going here and pouring the contents with a ladle and a funnel to make it easier to avoid spills. I usually do make spills, and you know what, it's really not a big deal if you spill it. Like right here, I just spilled it. I am a very clumsy person, I will say, so it is what it is. I've already accepted it. I'm a clumsy person. I tend to knock things over. I spill things. It is what it is. So I am finishing up just ladling the Coquito into the bottles. I needed 1 extra bottle, so I grabbed that, rinsed it. And then I'm going to throw a cinnamon stick in. That's just customarily, it just really enhances the flavor. So another thing that I make sure I do with my Coquito. I am going to finish just filling up these bottles, and then I am going to make sure that they're all cleaned off, wiped down. I'm going to put them back in their box to make sure that they're stored. Coquito does need to be refrigerated, so please keep that in mind. It is made with coconut milk, and milk goes bad. Even though it does have alcohol in it, I strongly recommend it always stays refrigerated. I love these bottles. They come with twist-on caps. Before I used to get corks because I thought they were like fancy and stuff, but I found that they would break apart and disintegrate, and then part of the cork would fall into the Coquito, which was not a great experience. So these twist-on caps definitely are recommended if you make any type of drinks or anything that you like, or anything for storage. Twist-on caps are the way to go. So they're cleaned, they're being put back in their box, and then I'm just going to start to clean the blender and just wipe everything back down because I have to set my kitchen back. I need to reset the kitchen again. So I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider to hit the like button below. And if you love more content like this, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Please comment below what you would like to see in future videos. Bye!